Well, let's try something a little different. Gonna maybe record my driving and just yap some thoughts along the way and see how that goes. Maybe I can just upload these little, 20 minute little videos of just me talking about my day or whatever thoughts are in my head. Lucky you. So today is day one. I believe today is Sunday. This is Sunday. I believe it's November 10th, 2024. It looks like it's a little after 11 o'clock. And I'm just backing out of the driveway. Hope I don't kill anybody, because that would be a bad first video. Let's see. Got my little backup camera. Nobody's there. Nobody's on the sides. It's looking pretty good. Can't see over there. Anyways, let's see. Looks pretty empty. All right. Made it. So, what's going on right now? I'm about to head over to our facility, and for those of you who don't know, my wife and I own an adult residential facility for developmentally disabled adults. And we can house and care for up to 4, which we just got our 4th a couple of weeks ago. So it's a little busy. Guy zooming around the corner here. All right, squeeze through there. So we are in the process of bringing on new staff. And while that is in the works, we're doing a little bit more work over there. And on top of that, we also have one of our staff who works the overnight shift, which we call the NOC shift, the NOC, I guess it stands for nocturnal. The NOC shift, it's kind of an industry term. I never heard of it until I got in this business a few years back. So he's no longer going to work with us permanently. He may help here and there. I don't know how we're going to handle that. But so I've been covering that, and that's 3 nights a week. And that's okay. Long term, it would certainly be better to get some other staff on there, because I want to be the backup. I don't want to be the permanently assigned person to work the overnight shift for just things like this. If somebody quits, that was a quick light. If somebody quits or is sick or wants to take vacation, if we don't have backup, then I'm just basically working, the whole time. And that's on top of what I do at home. I do a lot of the behind the scenes kind of work for the facility, like, well, I wouldn't say bookkeeping. I used to do the bookkeeping, just hired a CPA firm to do that for us. Seems to be going okay, but they just got the first set of documents or financials that they've created for us. But anyway, I don't want to divert this conversation over to that. But yeah, so like bookkeeping, taking care of insurance, organizing the daily notes, because we have to, or every staff has to write or document their notes for their shift, and it's per consumers, per resident. So if one staff member writes notes for 2, then there's 2 separate notes for that. So there's a lot of stuff I do behind the scenes, and if I'm working the nights as well, then it can get a little hectic, and some things start to kind of fall behind. Don't want to do that. They just did this road, just tore it all up to repave, I guess, and a little rough there. So anyway, so that's what's going on right now. I'm heading over there to the facility, going to meet my wife. Her name is Suzette. Going to meet up, and then we're going to go get some lunch. And guess, go back to the facility and see what help is needed. So we have 2 staff there now, but it really needs to have 3 for people to be comfortable. I mean, it can get by with just 2 people, but it's a little hectic. There's a lot going on. We have 2 of the 4 residents need special help, and when I say special help, it's not more rough road. It's more about needing or requiring more attention, because they may do things that can harm themselves or harm others and just need extra assistance. So with 2 staff members and 2 residents that require that has their hands full with just them, leaving the other 2 residents to kind of run amok, and they won't do that exactly, but you know what I mean. It just gets a little bit too much. So a 3rd staff member would certainly help that out, and that is the plan. Suzette did hire somebody. I did meet her. She seemed nice. Older person. Well, a couple years younger than me, but I'm old. Which I like. I like the older applicants, and it's nothing against young, because, well, the majority of our staff is, in their 20s, or barely 30, and they're great. So we have a really good team. But anyway, I guess when they're older, I feel like and she's been in this industry quite some time, so she should be very aware of what to expect and how to handle difficult situations. And also, if you're applying for this job and you're looking for something close to full-time, because this is a 36-hour-a-week position, I guess there's always the potential of going more hours as needed. But if you have the history and these hours sound good to you, then I kind of take it that you're not going to run away screaming after a day or 2 of dealing with a facility like this. Hopefully the camera's not bouncing too much. It looks like it might be. So that's what's going on there. What else is happening? It's a great day out here in Chino, California. They need to work on these roads. The road I'm on right now is called Kimball Avenue, and it lines a bunch of different warehouses, and there's this Walmart distribution center just right at the corner that I passed not long ago. So a lot of big trucks are constantly going down these roads here, and the roads show it. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're not that great. There's little pockets of dips and whatnot. Plus, they also built this big neighborhood where we now live. We're just renting, so we're not stuck there. But they have this huge neighborhood right next to a bunch of warehouses, and they're building more warehouses. So that's going to increase the traffic once those get filled. Plus all the people that are moving into these neighborhoods, and there are new houses being built there too. It's just a matter of time once everything is filled and there's some time and maturity to the development of the area. It is going to be crazy trying to drive anywhere. It just does not appear that they've done any planning on the infrastructure, at least not enough to support this. I think they meaning, I don't know, the city, the developers, whoever. I'm sure the developers will just develop as much as they can as long as the city allows them. But just trying to get as much as they can in there, and the heck with the infrastructure. But I mean, I know that sometimes Suzette will drive in the morning. Well, she does start the weekdays at 8 o'clock at the facility, so she's leaving the house around 7:30 in the morning, and there's a lot of traffic leaving the neighborhood and going around by these warehouses. But that's the road. That's where the people have to take the road, and that's the route for the trucks. So you don't really have many choices of where to go. You just pile in to the streets, and there you have it. But anyway, we'll probably be at that house maybe a couple more years. See how things kind of work out. Sorry if I'm jumping around on my topics a little bit, but hey, that's my head, that's my brain. Enjoy it while it lasts, because, well, who knows what tomorrow will look like. But the game plan for us, Suzette and I, is to try to open up a second facility. Oh, and by the way, there's Chino Prison. You can't see it, but I do. Chino's men's prison. The women's prison is kind of a different direction, not over by the street. Anyways, I digress. So the game plan is to try to open up a second facility and get that going, get that filled up. This first facility, we've been open almost 3 years. And when I say open, it just means we were able to start accepting residents about 3 years ago. It was in December, but even though we were able to accept in December, you're not going to get anything right away. And even when you do start to get referrals, because that's how it starts, you get a referral, and you review it. Hopefully you have a behavior analyst at this point. Actually, you should, because to even get approved to be a vendor for a facility, you already have to have your behavior analyst designated. What's the word I'm looking for? Identified. And it's good for them to review it too. And luckily, we didn't have this right at day one, but shortly after we started, we were able to find somebody that was referred to by somebody that Suzette knew, because she took a class with her in this administrator kind of world. And this guy is wonderful. He works with a lot of different houses, a lot of different facilities, knows a ton of people, was able to send over and refer a consultant over to us, and he helped us beyond what I can put into words. It's what made the facility what it is today by bringing him in. But this behavior analyst just has helped tremendously getting everything where we needed by the consultant, but also with the work. Hold on, I'm just looking at some guy who's going on the intersection. Okay, now he's backing up. But you have to have all that identified. You have to have that behavior analyst identified. So when you do get back to what I was saying, so when you do get a referral for a new resident, you're going to review their documentation. You're going to review their IPP. I forgot what that stands for. Individual Performance Plan, I think it's called. And that's lists a lot of their behaviors, their medications are in there, their goals, just a lot of information, their current situation. And you'll want your behavior analyst to review that as well. And if you're lucky, they already know who this person is. And we've had that a couple of times where they were already familiar with the resident or the candidate, or whatever you want to call the referral. And were able to give us a lot of feedback. That was very helpful. So just because we got open, there's still a review process. And even if we want to bring them in, you still schedule a time. Can you hear the guy's music next to me? Still scheduled the time. Oh, it looks like a guy with a motorcycle. Scheduled time to have them come on a tour. Most of the time, these referrals are conserved, at least the ones we've dealt with, which means that somebody else is making their decisions for them, and that could be a full conservator, which means they make their medical and financial decisions for them, or it could be a partial. Maybe it's just medical, or maybe it's just financial. Up to this point, when they have been conserved, they've been full conservators. Policeman's pulling somebody over. What'd you do, buddy? Pull your butt over. He's not pulling over. There he goes. You don't mess around this town. I don't know what he did. So they get their full conservators, and in this case, what we've had, it's the parents are the conservators. So we work with them to get this all done, and they come on a tour, and so the parents will bring the resident or the potential resident with them, and we'll walk around. We'll get to meet them. We'll get to see what's going on. They get to see our facility, what they like, what they don't like, whatever. And then if all goes well, and I don't want to die from a train hitting me, if all goes well, then you can schedule a move-in, and then they will do an official placement after that. So the caseworker, and in this case, if they're conservative, the parents, the conservators, the resident will be there. We will be there. At least Suzette will be there. She's the administrator of the facility. And she and I are both co-licensees, so we have the license for the facility. She's the administrator. And you go through the whole placement agreement, and there's a lot of information in there about what to expect. I wouldn't say rules, but there are a lot of policy, procedures, and just things spelled out. So there's no surprises, or there shouldn't be. I mean, it's like a big legal document, and there's a lot to read, so it takes a little time to go through it, but it is well worth really reading because there's a lot of stuff in there. Slow down, buddy. I don't want you to hit me. A lot of stuff in there that will pop up later on. There was something recently that popped up for us. What was it? What was it? Well, maybe it'll pop in my head later, and I'll bring it up in another video or something, or maybe before I end this one. But there was something in the placement agreement that I think it just slipped our minds, or we brushed over it when we were reading these things. But it's a pretty standard boilerplate kind of information in all placement agreements. We really, no excuse for us to have missed it, but if I can remember it, I'll share it. But it's stuff like that. So it's like, they go through all that, they read through it, everybody signs, sign. And then now they're officially in our facility. Now that does not mean that they're locked down and they belong to us. It doesn't work that way. This is a hands-off facility, meaning we can't grab them and hold them in place or lock them in their room or do anything like that. They all have their rights, and we will adhere to their rights, and we're all advocates for their rights and their well-being, and that is very important to us. So, if they choose they don't like it there, they want to leave, the conservator wants to take them out, they can take them out. They can take them out immediately. There's there's nothing that is going to stop them. So it's just a home. We care for them. There's a lot of things we do. But yeah, it's not like a lockdown facility or anything like that. And then that's what you do. That's your placement. So going back when I was talking about we've been open for business for 3 years, or almost 3 years in December. even when you first get that referral, it could take easily a month before you get them into your facility and moved in and living there. Sometimes longer. We have one where he did come in for what is called respite, and it's just it's not placement, but came to stay with us for a little while, and that was it. It was just kind of like gave the parents a break. I think they went on vacation, and he was with us for, I think it was 3 weeks, and then that was it. Picked him up and took him back home, and all was well, and he seemed to enjoy being there. And I remember when they were picking him up, he actually didn't want to leave, so that made us feel good. And there was talk about having him placed, but that was a very slow process. Okay, I don't know what you're doing, lady. She has no stop sign yet. She stops. All right. If you don't know what you're doing, pull over to the curb, throw your keys into the air, cut up your license, and apologize to everyone that you were on the road to begin with. Kidding. So anyway, I'm almost at my destination. I'm going to be picking up Suzette. We're going to go get some grub. And that's that. So that's kind of a quick little intro to what we do. A little bit about what a facility is. There's a lot more to say. Looks like a yard sale. Very crowded over here. But we'll talk more later. I have a lot of little driving. Where am I going to park? A lot of driving I do, so I'll be yapping a lot. Try to get these things uploaded quickly and often, and so you guys can enjoy my wonderful talks and all that wonderful jazzery. So you guys have a good day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.